And good afternoon, everybody. This is a little change of pace. Brian isn't with us today. He's got stuck on hold, taking care of some personal stuff. So I decided, rather than wait, let's go do a bit on hypertension. Just give you some bits and pieces. We'll go back to the concept with Brian on next week's show, where we'll talk more on the concept of diet and all of the issues of food and how food can keep your blood pressure where it needs to be. We'll get started here in 1 minute. The information you hear on the Nutrition Shop Health Talk with Dr. Len is strictly educational and is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Any healthcare decision should be discussed with your health professional. And now, here is Dr. Len. And as always, here live in studio, today we're talking about blood pressure. The number one killer in this country is cardiovascular disease. The biggest contributing factor to that is high blood pressure, and it's guesstimated that between 80 and 85% of all Americans walking around today have a higher than normal blood pressure. Stress, diet, weight, genetics, fill in the blanks. Could be either or all. So we're going to get started right after our national anthem. Welcome to you all. We're talking about hypertension. Blood pressure higher than normal. What's normal? Well, the gold standard's always been 120 over 80. 120 systolic, over 80 diastolic. So systolic, push out, diastolic, bring back in. So when we look at the beating of the heart, if we're hitting resistance going out, cholesterol issues, hardening of the arteries, etc., genetics, weight, your pressure is going to go up because the heart has to work harder in order to get the blood circulation. Diastolic, a lot more serious. If that bottom number starts to go up, we're starting to hit resistance out in the body in a lot of areas other than just in the upper chest, where we're hitting some resistance, maybe in the legs, in the abdominal aorta, areas of real major concern. So the longer we let this go, the more damage that can be done. To where? To the brain, to the heart, to the liver, to the kidneys, etc. It's probably up there as the number one, not talked about enough, and number two, one that actually can be controlled. So, I'm going to go through just a few of the articles that I pulled today for the show. Some very, very simplistic issues to give you some tips. So, in no particular order, story number one, breastfeeding reduces hypertension risk. The rates of problems with blood pressure during a pregnancy, again, carrying extra weight, which is not normal for a female body, carrying an extra child, an extra person, not normal for the human body, and that extra weight affecting more of a need for the heart to put more blood supply out there through the placenta. So hypertension and high blood pressure issues often can affect the health of the child and the mother, and can set the stage for high blood pressure issues after delivery, or could really complicate the delivery. So this story said breastfeeding reduces the hypertension risk. New study indicates that women who breastfeed children for longer periods of time are less likely to suffer from hypertension, not only while they're breastfeeding, but later on in life. Why? I wish I could tell you why. They really don't know, except for the fact that it is a relaxation effect on the human body. And I think that's really where the impetus point is. Story number 2, poor oral health linked to higher blood pressure and worse blood pressure control. You know, when you look at this, poor oral health may interfere with blood pressure control in people diagnosed with hypertension. Periodontal disease, a condition marked by gum infection, gum inflammation, and tooth damage, appears to worsen blood pressure and interferes with hypertension treatment. Study findings underscore the importance of good oral health in blood pressure control and its role in preventing the adverse cardiovascular effects known to stem from untreated hypertension. Physicians should pay close attention to this. I know it's not for your doctor. He's going to stick your tongue out and go, but they're not going to make an assessment of oral health. In an ideal world, going to your dentist about every 3 months, quarterly, maybe every 4 months, 3 times a year, getting a good cleaning and making sure that the gums are healthy is a critical factor. Target blood pressure, this article says, range for people with hypertension is less than 130/80, according to the latest recommendations of the American Heart Association. In this study, patients with severe periodontal disease had systolic pressure that was on average 3 millimeters of mercury higher than those with good oral health. Systolic pressure, the upper number in the blood pressure reading, indicates a pressure of blood against the walls of the arteries. While seemingly small, this 3 millimeter difference is similar to the reduction in blood pressure that can be achieved by reducing salt intake to 6 grams a day. We're not going to go there. Next week, we're going to target the role a diet plays in blood pressure. Story number 3. There's been a link found between low levels of zinc and its role in high blood pressure. Lower than normal zinc levels may contribute to high blood pressure by altering the way the kidneys handle sodium. Studies published ahead of print in the American Journal of Physiology, Renal Physiology, Kidney. Zinc deficiency is common in people with chronic illnesses, such as type 2 diabetes and chronic kidney disease. People with low zinc levels are also at a higher risk of hypertension. The way in which the kidneys either excrete sodium into the urine or reabsorb it into the body, specifically through a pathway called the sodium chloride cotransporter, also plays a role in blood pressure control. Less sodium in the urine typically corresponds with higher blood pressure. Recent research has suggested that zinc may help to regulate proteins that in turn regulate this cofactor, sodium chloride cofactor. And again, are you checking your zinc levels? I doubt it. Number of pregnant women with high blood pressure spikes over the last 4 decades. The number of women with high blood pressure when they became pregnant or have it diagnosed during the first 20 weeks of pregnancy has spiked in the United States, now estimated to be affecting at least 50% of all women who are pregnant. You know somebody that's pregnant? Story number 5. A plant-based diet protects against hypertension. And again, this is dealing with pregnancy and preeclampsia, or complications of pregnancy where the baby comes early. A plant-based diet appears to afford significant protection for hypertension for those on a high-salt diet, scientists report. Although we have heard to avoid the salt shaker, an estimated 30 to 50% of us have a significant increase in blood pressure in response to a high salt intake. Percentages that are even higher and more impactful in blacks. 2 new studies provide more evidence that the gut microbiota which contains trillions of microorganisms to help us digest food and plays a key role in regulating our response for our immune system, is also a player in the unhealthy response to salt, investigators at the Medical College of Georgia said. So what's the power here? Plant-based diet feeds more good bacteria. Take more good bacteria and you could help control your blood pressure? Really? Really? Here's a piece on our Ultra Probiotic. Hey everybody, I want to talk to you for just a minute about our probiotic of choice called our Ultra Probiotic. Delivers 30 billion viable organisms per serving of 10 different beneficial strains. A combination of freeze-dried probiotic bacteria with inulin, a beneficial prebiotic. 30 billion organisms in 2 capsules. Each capsule has 15 billion good bacteria. Ultra Probiotic contains both probiotics and prebiotics that work together to support digestion in the immune system. Featuring a proprietary blend of 10 different probiotic strains plus inulin, a prebiotic that stimulates the growth of friendly intestinal bacteria to support colon health. As a dietary supplement, 2 vegetable capsules daily, preferably with a meal. Conforms to USP for weight, dissolution, disintegration, and maximum bioavailability. Contains no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, no preservatives, no sugar, no starch, no soy, no wheat, no fish, and it is sodium-free and non-GMO. Made in USA in an FDA-registered facility in Tennessee by good manufacturing practices. Again, our probiotic of choice, our Ultra Probiotic, 60 capsules in a bottle. If you want more information on that, by all means, give our staff a call at 678-228-8900. That's 678-228-8900. And get our Ultra Probiotic into your life for you and your family. Take care. All right, so we're talking about hypertension. We're talking about other areas that can make a big difference in keeping your elevated blood pressure under control. Next question. New guidelines point toward a more effectively way of treating hypertension. The first new national guidelines since 2004 on identifying and treating high blood pressure in children and adolescents. Listen to what this study said. Children and adolescents. This is not targeted to those in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or above. We're talking about those aged 3 to 18. We're having issues with hypertension in this age group. First new national guidelines are out. First-line treatment remains lifestyle changes. There's a high correlation between hypertension and obesity. When untreated, long-standing hypertension can damage the heart, kidneys, and brain. Among the new recommendations is a call to only conduct routine blood pressure medicines at annual preventative care, as opposed to the 2004 guidelines that urged blood pressure testing anytime a child was in a healthcare setting. Does that make sense to you at all? Let's forget about it. Let's not test it just once a year. Second major difference is the new report removed overweight and obese patients when calculating standards for normal blood pressure. Does that make any sense? The point here is the third difference is a recommendation for diagnosing high blood pressure by using an ambulatory blood pressure monitor that's attached to the body and worn in a real-life setting. Really? Do you see the ridiculous nature of what comes out of the American Academy of Pediatrics? Totally ridiculous. Could our children have that? Yeah, you need to check them on a regular basis. You really do. Healthy changes in diet and activity improve treatment-resistant high blood pressure. American Heart Association. Healthy eating plan, weight loss, and improved aerobic fitness can significantly reduce blood pressure and improve heart health in patients with resistant hypertension, a condition in which blood pressure remains high despite the use of 3 or more antihypertensive medicines. You realize that the average person with blood pressure is on at least 2, and the majority of people are actually on 3 or more, just to control blood pressure? I was at one time. I was on blood pressure meds, numbers of different ones. And I'm going to be here today to tell you that at age 70, I'm not on any medication for high blood pressure. I'm living proof that it can be controlled. To keep your weight where it needs to be, to keep your exercise where it needs to be, and to eat healthy. I'm half Polish, half Italian. I love eating junk food. I do. Pizza, pasta, etc. And I can do that. I figured out a way the other day to take some nice pasta and saute it in a pan and make my own sauce and add some turkey to it, some turkey sausage, and just made a feast, even some turkey meatballs. And we had a wonderful skillet cooked with tons of olive oil and had a salad on the side. It can be done. Nicotine exposure leads to hypertension, obviously, those that are still smoking. Here's an interesting one. Specific gut bacteria may be associated with hypertension. Researchers have found a specific bacterial profile in the gut of people with pulmonary arterial hypertension, a chronic and progressive disease that causes constrictions of the arteries to the lungs. This unique bacterial profile predicted pulmonary arterial hypertension with 83% accuracy. Keep the good bacteria going in the gut. Insomnia may be a risk factor for hypertension. Yeah, we see that. High cholesterol and high LDL causing hardening of the arteries can affect blood pressure. Yes, it can, which is why we use organic sourced red yeast rice. Tremendous. Getting your blood sugar under control can help guide proper hypertension control. Let me finish with this. Garlic, amazing. Garlic, amazing. Let me also give you a little piece on CBD, because I'm starting to use CBD with patients and continuing to reduce inflammation in the body that can make a big difference in your hypertension. Here's a little piece on the organic CBD by Nutritional Frontiers.
Hi, this is Dr. Len. I just want to talk to you for a minute about CBD. It's all over the news now. Cannabidiol. It's the non-psychoactive phytocannabinoid molecule derived from hemp. So what's hemp? It's a plant extract. It's a grain for which they do derive a biochemical matrix of phytocannabinoids and terpenes. So it basically says, much like they make beer out of hops and grains, we can extract CBD out of hemp as well. Now, that's number one. CBD is the main prominent molecule out of the 80-plus cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant family. So I know there's been controversy galore. What's the difference? Well, cannabis, again, does deliver CBD. Hemp delivers CBD, the exact same chemical structure, but without the psychoactive part to it. Now, we've been looking for the highest quality, full-spectrum extracts. We just recently partnered with Nutritional Frontiers, who manufactures a USA form, all organic form, supercritical CO2 extraction process, no toxic chemical solvents, pesticides, or herbicides ever used, and it's distilled to reduce odor and taste. We also have this now available in a tincture form, unflavored, mint, cinnamon, and lemon. Concentrated and safe for the entire family. Full spectrum hemp extract delivering CBD are pure CBD isolate products to help balance and regulate the endocannabinoid system. Great for pain, great for sleep, great for anxiety, great for numerous numbers of issues dealing with health. If you want more information, stop into our shop or give us a call at 678-228-8900, and our staff will be glad to give you some more information on Nutritional Frontiers Full Spectrum Hemp Extract CBD. We look forward to working with you. Take care.
And again, the one prep that I really like is a prep called Hemp Boost, which has a lot of other ingredients to really boost the CBD levels in the blood. Maybe taking one at bedtime, help with insomnia, help to control vascular circulation, help to just reduce inflammation in your body, body-wide. Be a good place to start. You want more information on that? Call our staff at 678-228-8900, 678-228-8900. Our website is thenutritionshop.net. God bless you, folks. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.